language and being able to apply it in your lives. So I wanted to first give y'all a background on just like foreign languages in general throughout the world, and then I wanted to move into different motivations that different people have for learning a language. And then finally, I wanted to touch on benefits that we can all have from learning the second language. So starting off with the background, the Info-Log, which is like a big, massive book of just all the languages that are available right now. The Info-Log of 2014 says that there's 6,909 different languages out there right now. And I found this really cool thing on the internet where they described how many people in the entire world are using certain languages. So they made it really easy to understand by saying you're at a party of 100 people, and these 100 people represent the entire world. Like in their, I think word it is kind of confusing. Yeah, the world is represented in 100 people at a party. So 17 of these people speak Chinese. 6 of these people speak Spanish. 5 of them are speaking English. 4 of them are speaking Hindu. And the 68 are speaking a variety of Arabic, Portuguese, Bengali, Russian, Japanese, and just like a bunch of other small languages that is just really distinct to certain locations in the area. So I thought that was really interesting to be able to really see people and like put them into a place. So as of right now, 18% of Americans say that they can speak a second language, which compares to the 53% of European countries that say that they can like converse really comfortably in a second language. So I think that's a huge deficit that we're going to have to try and fix. Also, another thing said that 21 of the 25 top industrialized countries start their kids in primary school learning languages, where it's not like an immediate like jump in and it's like really like rigorous or anything. They're just kind of giving them the basics, giving them the foundations. Whereas in America, we're starting the average kid around 14, which is a huge lapse in age as well. And another thing said that from 1997 to 2008, elementary foreign language instructions dropped from 31% to 25%, just because decreased spending and people are trying to wean out things that they don't think are as important, and so they're putting the funding towards the mathematics and the English, and obviously taking it away from arts as well, but they're taking it away from the foreign language because people are losing sight of how it can really benefit not only like the individual, but it can benefit the community in general. And also middle schools from 1997 to 2008 have decreased from 75% to 58%, which is even larger, and I'd have to say a lot sadder because that's when people are really starting to like jump in and really be able to use it. So now I wanted to talk about the motivations that we can all use. There are 2 types of motivations that linguists use to describe people's motivation to wanting to speak a language. One is instrumental, and that's just being able to use it for practical reasons like getting a job or getting into college or being able to use it just like to read things and be able to keep up. Whereas there's integrative, which is to help people better understand each other, to understand cultures, and also not a study done at the University of York by Daniela Trinket. She said that the social relevance and social aspects of learning seem hugely important for sustaining motivation and determining the outcome of learning, which in short really means if you find a reason to like stick around, like a group that you really enjoy being with and enjoy learning with, that's so much more of a motivator than just like coming to class and working for the grade or studying for the test. It's like you're actually finding a way to apply it to your life with a group of people that you enjoy being with. And another part of the integrative motivation was a linguist, Professor John Schumann, said that children are born with this natural instinct to want to learn the language of their caregiver because they want so badly to be able to relate and be like species of their caregiver. So that was one of the things that they talked about a lot, that children are born with this natural ability to learn languages really easily because they want to be able to adapt into the world, I guess, that they were born in. So one of the things they said is to expose children at that really young age where they're not being able to talk to a bunch of different languages, so that when they grow older, those things are somewhere deep down in their brain, and whether they know it or not, it's making it easier for them to learn that language and get into it a lot more. And they also said that once you learn that first language, the child loses, like once they pick that language, they lose that ability to pick up really easily a different language, which I thought was kind of sad and really interesting. They also talked about the 3 elements of motivation, which are effort, desire, and effect. The effort is obviously how much you're willing to put into learning the language. The desire is how badly you want to learn that language. And then the effect is the emotional reactions with regard to the language, so how you feel like you can apply it and use it throughout. So I'm sure a lot of y'all are wondering, why should we have to learn another language other than these things that you said, if English is such a big language? It's like the main language of business, like everyone's using it around the world. It's like a big middle ground. So I wanted to talk about the other benefits that you can have from speaking a language. Obviously, I think most of us in here are planning or have gone abroad, and that's a huge thing that we can use when we're in that country, because you're going beyond the tourist sites, you're going beyond what people are just coming in and seeing from the books, because you're being able to talk to the locals and they're being able to take you into their lives for even like the shortest second, and that enriches your experience so much more than just coming in and reading a book and finding where everybody else thinks it's important to go. Next, another thing was improving the understanding of our own language, because when you're learning another language, you're learning their parts of speech, you're learning different words and how they're applied. And in that, you're learning how our own words and our own parts of speech are applied, and that can only like increase your understanding of our current language, which would obviously only improve that. Another study said that the verbal SAT scores climbed higher with each additional year that people took a foreign language, so that's another huge thing. It's just being able to apply different, maybe like suffixes to like the SAT. So then another one was being able to communicate with multiple individuals, which was kind of what I experienced in Honduras. I wanted so badly to be able to connect and be able to have just like a normal conversation like I am with y'all, which was a lot harder, obviously. And since we're in a business course, another thing is the employment opportunities that comes with learning another language. It makes you so much more like marketable to your employers if you can speak another language, because they're wanting somebody who can communicate internationally and have these kind of relationships. So that was a huge thing. So in conclusion, I just wanted to say, like, America being the multilingual society that it is, I don't think we're taking the full advantage that we should, since we're surrounded by all these different people who can speak these different languages, which makes it easier for us to learn it in turn. I think we should take a lot more advantage of the opportunities we've been given, either through taking classes or studying abroad, or even just talking to people around you that you know speak another language, in order for us to learn that, because I just think it's really important that we can all be more well-rounded and be able to commit ourselves to being more global citizens.